நம்ம நினைச்ச மாதிரி ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணது கிடையாது. இது வந்து பல்வேறு ஐக்கிய நாடு குழந்தை உரிமை மீதான உடன்படிக்கையிலே ஏற்கனவே 18 இருக்குது. அது மாதிரி பல நாடுகள் எல்லாம் சேர்ந்து வந்து ஒரு டிசைட் பண்ணக்கூடிய ஒரு விஷயங்கள் தான் குழந்தைகளுடைய வயது என்ன எத்தனை அப்படின்னு இருக்கணுன்றது. அதே மாதிரி நம்முடைய நாட்டிலையும் கூட முதல்ல வந்து இந்த ஜேஜே ஆக்டில் ஃபஸ்ட்டு வந்து 16 என்று தான் இருந்தது. அதுக்கு பிறகு நிறைய இது மாதிரியான பன்னாட்டு உடன்படிக்கைகளில் கையெழுத்திட்ட பிறகு நாம் வந்து இதை கொண்டு வரணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு தான் இது வந்து 18ன்னு கொண்டு வந்துட்டாங்க. அதனால் வந்து திடீர்னு நாம் ஒரு இன்சிடெண்ட்டை பார்த்துட்டு சரி ஓகே இப்போ அது சரிப்படலை நம்ம 16 வச்சுக்கலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி நம்ம முடிவு செய்ய முடியாது. அதே மாதிரி வந்து இப்போது இது வந்து குடும்பத்திலும் நிறைய குழப்பங்களை உண்டாக்கும். இது வரைக்கும் நம்ம வந்து 18ன்னா தான் வந்து மேஜர் ஆகிட்டாங்கன்னு சொல்கிறோம். அதுக்கு பிறகு தான் வந்து வாக்குரிமைன்றோம். இது மாதிரிலாம் இருக்கும்பொழுது இனிமேல் வந்து நீங்கள் 16 வயதுக்கு பிறகு நீங்கள் மேஜரு இனிமேல் நீங்கள் அடல்ட் ஆகிட்டீங்க பெரியவர்கள் ஆகிட்டீங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு நாம் நடத்த முடியாது. ஆகவே வந்து இது மாதிரி இந்த ஒரு சம்பவத்தை பார்த்து நாம் உடனே கொதித்து எழுந்து ஒரு புது சட்டம் இயற்றுவதற்கு பதிலாக ஏற்கனவே இருக்கக்கூடிய சட்டங்களை வந்து முறையாக செயல்படுத்துவது தான் அறிவுடைமையாகும் அப்படின்றாரு மிஸ்டர் தோலா மகாபத்ரா. இப்போ பாரதி அலி இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் கமெண்ட் சொல்கிறேன்.
See, I'd like to share with you, in Delhi we had a public discourse on the 17th evening, and we had a very good panel also. We had Professor Babu Matthew with the National Law University Delhi. We had Dr. Shekhar Sheshadri from NIMHANS. We had Mrs. Neena Nayak, who's now member of the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights. We had Advocate Maru Kadinwala, who's been fighting both for victims of sexual abuse in Mumbai courts and also for children in conflict with law. And we had Dr. Achal Bhagat, who's also a mental health expert. And we had Mrs. Karuna Vishnoi from UNICEF. And we had a good discussion. I think for the first time, it was very clear that there is no difference between the child rights groups and the women's rights groups. We are supporting each other. So as children's groups, we are supporting the women's rights groups in their fight for a strong sexual assault law, for better investigation and trial procedures for adults. And as women's rights groups, they are supporting children's rights groups in demanding that the age should not be lowered. It should remain 18. So we are really together. And we'd like your support in that. Instead of talking about news which brings conflict, we need support to bring people together because our cause is the same. We want to secure human rights for all. We cannot pitch the rights of children against rights of women because both rights have to be protected. If I stretch my arm, this is where my limit ends, otherwise I'm going to hurt him. And that limit has been set at 18. As far as children are concerned, it's all, as Sir said, it's also 18 because in India you cannot donate blood if you are below 18.
Exactly.
You know why is it that you can't donate blood before 18? There has to be a biological and sound scientific reason for that. You cannot even get a lawyer for yourself because to get a lawyer you have to sign a contract, a wakalatnama. You can't. If you're below 18, you can't sign a wakalatnama and hire a lawyer to represent yourself. So how will you treat that person who cannot even get himself a lawyer under the same adult system? You can't do that. And these things we have to understand. We can't ignore these technical issues when we deal with children. At the same time, we must also understand that the juvenile justice law has a component to deal with children in need of care and protection. If we come to this particular case of the boy, he came to Delhi in the year 2002 and has lived on streets for about 10 to 11 years. He has no bonding with parents. Till date, his parents have not come to the Juvenile Justice Board to seek his custody or to bail him out. Because he has no relationship with his family. He's lived on the streets and all of us understand what street life is about. He has faced the abuse and exploitation which does not give him license to rape somebody. Please remember, it does not give him license to rape. But these are aspects that will have to be taken into consideration when we decide upon how to treat him. Even in the rarest of rare cases concerning adults, the courts look at the age of the accused, they look at the circumstances of the offense, they look at many factors before deciding on what kind of sentence is to be given. And here the person is below 18. So you will have to make an assessment of circumstances in deciding how should this person be treated, what kind of mental health intervention is required, how will you rehabilitate him. There is provision for individual care plans in the Juvenile Justice Act. There's a format given for individual care plans. Believe me, there is not a single state where I have come across individual care plans for juveniles. Why? And in the individual care plans, there is a clear provision of what is to be done after that person is released. So even after 3 years, there is supposed to be an assessment before releasing him, and if the assessment suggests that this person needs further investment of time, energy, resources, mental health intervention, then that will be built into the individual care plan. But it will happen only if we have people to make individual care plans. We want to emulate the United States, right? Saying that in the United States they have changed it for 16 to 18-year-olds. But believe me, in the United States there is a case worker assigned to every person below the age of 18 years. And case files are maintained. We don't have that here. So what are we talking about? We are not strengthening. Why are we not, when this child needed protection, we failed him. We let him be on the streets. We failed this child. And, helped him reach a stage where it has become, at least people want to feel it has become irreparable. I still feel if we work and we plan it out, then it can be worked out. And we have live examples. In Bangalore, there is an organization called HAQ. They work with 750 something juveniles, out of which 459 juveniles have been recruited as traffic wardens. So if you are moving in the city of Bangalore, the traffic wardens you come across are actually many of them children who have been in conflict with law. In Delhi, we have had examples of children convicted of murder, but now there's one child who's found employment with Kirloskar company. He was trained by Kirloskar and has found a job with Kirloskar. Another one was trained as a chef and is running a canteen. Another,